Hey everyone, and welcome. So, have you ever wanted to learn Python, but just felt totally lost about where to even begin? Well, you are in exactly the right place. What we're going to do today is lay out the ultimate roadmap, a step-by-step guide that will take you from writing your very first line of code to feeling like a confident, job-ready programmer. All right, let's jump right in.
We've all been there, right? Let me tell you about Balu. He thought he could just watch a couple of videos online, learn Python in 2 days, and land this massive job. And what did he get instead? Just frustration. One error after another. That big wall of red error text. That's where so many of us get stuck, get discouraged, and just want to give up.
So how do you get past that? How do you break through that wall of errors and actually start building cool stuff? Well, the secret isn't about being some kind of super genius. It's actually way simpler than that. It's about having a plan. It's about following a structured path that builds your skills one small step at a time.
And that's really the core of what we're talking about today. We're going to reframe this whole Python problem. See, it's not this impossible hurdle you have to overcome. It's actually an opportunity. It's a promise of all the incredible things you can build if you just have the right map to guide you.
And that answer? It's a clear roadmap, one that can take you all the way from your very first classic Hello World program to building complex, powerful applications that can do amazing things. So let's start that journey right now.
And you know, this is exactly why so many people say Python is the perfect first language to learn. The way it's written, its syntax, is so clean and so intuitive. I mean, a lot of the time, it literally feels like you're just reading plain and simple English. That's what makes it so powerful and so incredibly easy to get started with.
Okay, so first stop on our big roadmap, laying the foundation. We have to start here. These are the absolute, non-negotiable building blocks. You've got to know these before you can do anything else.
The very first concept you're going to run into is something called a variable. And honestly, the easiest way to think about it is it's just a box, a container with a label on it. You can put information inside that box, like a name, Rajat, or a number, like age, 18. And then you can use that label later to get the information back out. It's how programs remember things.
So when you write your very first program, it's going to have these key parts. First, the file itself is going to end in .py. You'll use those variables we just talked about to hold your information, which comes in different types, like numbers, text, or even simple true or false values. And crucially, you're going to use the print function. Think of that as your window into the program's brain. It's how you tell the computer to show you what it's doing.
Okay, so now you can store information and you can get it to show up on the screen. What's next? Well, now we make our programs smart. This is where we start building with logic, giving our code the power to make decisions and to do things over and over and over again.
And the main tool for this is the conditional statement. Using if and else, you can literally tell your program what to do based on certain conditions. You can say, if the user is over 18, let them continue. Else, show them a, sorry, you're too young message. This right here, this is the basic building block for any decision a program makes. Now, the other side of that logic coin is repetition. Sometimes you need to do things more than once. If you know exactly how many times you need to repeat something, like printing the numbers from 1 to 100, you use a for loop. But if you need to keep doing something until a condition changes, like a game that keeps running until the player types quit, then you use a while loop. And trust me, knowing which one to use and when, that's a huge step forward.
All right, check this out. Your programs can now make decisions, and they can repeat tasks. You're really getting somewhere. The next level up is learning how to handle tons of information, and importantly, doing it efficiently. It's time to master your data.
And to do this, Python gives you these awesome built-in containers. They're called data structures. Think of them like specialized toolboxes for your information. Lists are like your basic shopping list. They're in order, and you can add or remove items. Tuples are also in order, but they're set in stone. You can't change them, kind of like GPS coordinates. Sets are for when you only want unique items, no duplicates allowed. And dictionaries, they work just like a real dictionary. You look up a word, the key, to get its definition, the value.
So let's put this into perspective. Imagine this challenge. You have a list with 500 different numbers, and you need to find the single largest one. Now, if you're just starting out, you might try to tackle this the long way. Write a big, clunky loop, use a bunch of if-else logic, and it would work eventually, but man, it would be complicated to write.
But here is the magic of Python. This is why we love it so much. Because you took the time to learn about its powerful built-in tools, you can just write max mylist. That's it. One line. One single line of code does the work that might have taken you 20 lines to write before. This is the kind of power you unlock when you really master these concepts.
Okay, but here's a really important point. Knowing all the commands and the syntax, that's just step one. To go from just writing code to becoming a real pro, you need to develop a professional mindset. It's all about how you think about problems and your commitment to always keep learning.
In this quote right here, it really gets to the heart of it. Learning about things like data structures and algorithms isn't just some academic exercise you do to pass the test. The entire point is to apply them, to use that knowledge to build real software that's faster, more efficient, and better.
So how do you do that? Well, it's a cycle, a continuous loop. You start by learning the theory, but you don't just stop there. You immediately get your hands dirty and apply it by solving practice problems. Then you take those skills and you build real, actual projects for your portfolio. And you know what? That whole process, learning, practicing, building, that's what naturally gets you ready for job interviews. It's a constant loop of learning and doing.
So there you have it. We've walked through the entire journey from that first frustrating error message all the way to thinking like a professional developer. You have the map. You know the path. The only question left is, are you ready to take that first step and start coding?